I'm Tom.
And I'm Molly.
Welcome to Forensic Gameology, hosted by ForensicGameology.com.
Reviews for science.
In 7 minutes or less. Good cop, bad cop. A social deduction game. One player is the agent, the other player is the kingpin. Other players will be crooked cops or honest cops, and so those will be decided by these cards. And you're on a team. You're either crooked or you're honest, and you're trying to shoot the agent if you're crooked or the kingpin if you're honest. If you can shoot that player twice with these guns, you win. I think even if you die. But if you can't and your side's leader gets sleeps with the fishes, then you lose. So let's jump into simplicity versus complexity.
This game is fairly simple to play. This lead investigator card says whose turn it is, and on the back it tells you what you can do. You have an option of 4 actions that you can take in your turn. You can investigate, which is just look at someone's card. You can equip, which means draw a card. You can arm, which means to take a gun. Now, if you do either of those 2 things, take an equipment or arm yourself, you have to turn one of your cards face up. So everyone can see I have one honest card right here. And then, or you can shoot on your turn. If you already have a gun, you can shoot. The second part of your turn is that if you have a gun, you have to aim it at someone. Because you can't shoot before you aim. That's it. It's pretty simple. Now, it's hard to figure out who's who sometimes. And because if he sees this honest card and then someone else looks at this and they say, okay, well, she's honest, little do they know I'm the kingpin, so I'm definitely not honest. So it's that's where the deduction part comes in. But really simple game.
If these were my 3 cards, 1 honest and 2 crooked, I would be a crooked cop. It's by the majority, except in the case where Molly is majority honest and she's the kingpin. The kingpin is a trump and it overrides, and so she is crooked. Well, like Molly said, it's pretty simple, and I think that's helped by the player aid that gets passed around each turn. So if you're not familiar, you can take a look down it. There's only 4 things you can do, and it's a very finite rule set. Luck versus strategy. We don't have our little papers anymore. We got a new camera, don't have our little papers, so I'm trying to remember. Luck versus strategy.
This game is very lucky. Very lucky, I would say. There's deduction. Tom is better at it than me, so to me, I find more luck in this game. That being said, the luck goes both ways. So if I know who the agent is, and we have targets aimed on him, and it looks like he's out, and we're going to win, the crooked cops are going to win, no. Do not play that way, because these equipment cards are just as crazy and lucky. And so you can have these things that say, no, I'm going to take your gun. I have a defibrillator, which brings someone back from the dead. It's just
a defibrillator?
Just crazy things that can happen. So even if you think, oh, they have the game, we're going to lose. No. Draw equipment cards. See if you can figure something out, because you can. I've seen it play out that way. And it's super frustrating, because I think I was like, oh, I'm going to win. And then I didn't, because they pulled some crazy cards. So...
Blackmail. Choose 2 integrity cards held by other players. Those players exchange those integrity cards. Well, I'll tell you what, you think you're on the crooked team, and now you're honest, and you're pointing the gun at the wrong person. You don't have to shoot, but now you're going to take a whole other turn and point it the other way. There is strategy in this game. A lot of people start the game by investigating. Take a look at another player card. I personally like this strategy of immediately flipping one of my cards and grabbing a gun, because these are limited, and if someone has them and there's not any left in the pool, then you can't pick one up without a special equipment card. So there's all sorts of things you can do in this game, and like Molly said, I got switched to a different team, and I was just scrambling for equipment cards.
It was not smart to do that, because then you had someone else that would be against us. Oh.
Well, I mean, I lost that particular game, but this game has its share of luck, but boy, there's a lot of strategy here. Fun versus boring. I think Good Cop, Bad Cop is fun. I like social deduction games. I'm already predisposed to like games like this. And it's a lot of fun to have the switching teams, the gun that when you pick it up, you can't immediately shoot it. You have to aim it at the end of your turn. And so you can't even aim it. You'd aim it at the end of the turn. So if you have it already, like you've picked it up and I'm pointing at Molly, then I realize she's on my team. At the beginning of my turn, I can't turn it and shoot at somebody else. So there's the limitations that really make this game.
Yeah, I think this game is fun. I'm not one for social deduction games. This one, well, I'm just not good at lying. We've talked about this. Okay? I'm not good at lying. I get anxiety, all these things. But this game, like some other social deduction games, tend to not be so anxiety-inducing. You don't really have to lie. I mean, it should be like, well, because luckily you generally don't get all 3 of the same, and so you get at least one.
I do.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
always honest.
I don't, so thank goodness. So I can flip over crooked and an honest, and then people don't know, and it's still ambiguous. I'm still trying to figure out who's on my team. It's ambiguous, so that's what I like about it. That's why I don't have anxiety. It's fun.
On the Board Game Geek rating system, I would give this an 8.
I would give this a 7.
I'd like to play it. I typically, when we have the right amount of people, it goes down to 4. But I prefer it with 8. It goes up to 8. I prefer it with more than with less players. But I've done it. I've done it every way.
Yeah.
This particular video brought to you by Bear and Thor chewing on rawhides throughout the whole thing. I hope that you're not hearing that through the microphones.
Yeah, or the microphone
it's to keep them from smacking into the lights in the camera. Watch a couple of other videos, just see things shaking or the lights suddenly turn off because of these dogs. Let's get this this Yoda painting on the road.
Anytime we get to multiples of 500 subscribers, we give away a free glitter painting of your favorite geeky thing. Make sure to subscribe now.
It could be you that wins.
Good cop, bad cop. We've presented the evidence.
You be the judge.